Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kippi from KippiAtHome.com. Thank you for stopping by today. I wanted to show y'all how I made these Goodwill shirt pumpkins, and you of course can make them out of any fabric. I made them out of the black and white buffalo check. I've made them out of everything. I have some in my China hutch over there, but this one is the one I just recently made. These are all from different shirts. Oh, let me move that out of the way. I'll put it down here. So, and I thought it would be fun, and I selected that because I thought I'd do some out of sweaters as well. So I go down to Goodwill and I get a ton of these shirts, and they're very cozy. You're gonna love them. And they just kind of go together, even though they're all different prints, but I really like flannel and I like plaid. So, you know, anything like that. So this is gonna be pretty together, and it will go with everything else as you saw. It's really super cute. So let's get started. I wanted to show you first that this makes this medium size. Beautiful patterns, aren't they? I'll put the link for those below in the description. And here's your small. So you see what you get, and they're so cute together. So we're gonna start out with the small because I've already made a medium out of that. And I selected this shirt because I also want to make the coordinating one out of this. The sweater. So we're gonna start with this shirt. I already have a medium made out of it. So now I'm gonna make a small. And I don't want to waste any of this fabric because, you know, this stuff is precious and I love it. So we picked a flannel, and it's a plaid, and plaid, stripes, whatever you find, herringbone, all of it's cute together. You know, they're just cozy for fall. So I'm gonna see it. I don't know if you can really see that that's a seam allowance, but you're gonna have to trust me on this one. So I'm going in there tight because I don't want to waste any of this. Okay, so I have a piece of chalk, and it's just chalk. I get that at the end of the school when they have the school supplies, and I just, you know, buy multiple packs of just white school chalk for this kind of project. Now if I'm doing it, so this is just kind of forgiving. If you're making, you know, clothing, you might want to use a better something. So then I use my favorite scissors. These are Gingers, and they are worth every penny, and I can send y'all, I mean, I can put that link for that as well. And they are a dream. So no funny business at all. Just scissors that don't cut will actually fatigue your hand. And these are, do you see all, these are knife edge blade. These are 8-inch dressmakers. Dressmaking scissors, worth every dollar. All right, there brings me to the thread. Now because I do upholstery and slipcovers, I have this really, really heavy thread. Most people don't have this kind of thread, but what I do is I make it a lot longer than what I think it needs to be. But what you could do is do the same thing, and if you're just buying thread, let's say from Joann's, you would double it over, or you could buy upholstery thread, and I would probably pull it through Thread Heaven. And that looks like this, and it's a thread conditioning, and it keeps it from tangling. This thread will not need that. And students seem to like to, you know, when they come to take my classes, like to do a knot. So I'm just gonna do, y'all know how to do this kind of knot. So I'm just gonna go like this, knotting it up, and then it's on. So you don't have to knot it, but it keeps it from pulling through. So now we're gonna gather this fabric up, and you kind of figure out, I like that side better. So I'm gonna gather it, and I'm gonna do just a running stitch. Doesn't have to be perfect. So it's in about 1/4 inch from the cut edge. And this fabric is such a nice weight. Well, I'm sure this was a nice shirt in its day. It's a little bit, I guess, pilled on the outside. So we're actually gonna do it the opposite way when I actually do it. So I'm just going around and around. Okay guys, we're getting about down to the end. I'm just loading up my needle, and I'm being careful, but I did make a knot at the end, but you can see it's very, very long, so it's really not going anywhere. I've had kids do this. I have a blog post I can put on there, and it's the Teal Pumpkin Project, and there's a couple of sisters, and the 9-year-old, the younger one, is teaching the older girl, because she came to my class last year making these, and she taught lots of people how to make them. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of draw it up like that and see how we're getting our shape, and let me get the stuffing and we'll get it stuffed. It'll just be a minute. All right, so here we go. We're gonna just start out with handfuls of fiberfill. I purchased this, I'll put the link for it, you can find it. And if you're gonna make a whole bunch of stuff, you probably wanna get a whole bunch of it because it smashes down. So we're just kind of holding these strings, the thread that you started with, and kind of pulling it up to see where you end up. Does that look like enough? I mean, it's just a small one, but I usually say, oh, that's enough, and let me do a wee bit more. So let me cross this over like we're tying a shoe, but don't actually tie it off yet. But it helps to hold it because you can get a little better control. All right, so doing this one-handed, as I've made most of them one-handed. It can be done easily, well, somewhat easily. Okay, so there I am. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I think we're about finished there. So I'm gonna give it the tie off. I'm not exactly finished with it yet. It's almost like the world's longest string there. Okay, so I'm tie it a little bit more. And then I go in for my little, I go across it like kind of a crisscross. So I rethread the needle. I take the needle out so I don't end up cutting myself while I'm tying the knot. But it just rethreads, and if it's not going to go in easily, just cut the end of it off and you can start over. Okay, so what I'm looking for, this has made these little pleats around here. So this one looks like it's kind of sticking up. So I'm going to grab those that look like they might need a little more secured, tie off, and I'm going to just go kind of make a cross. I'm going to cross it. I'm going to cross across it, just kind of holding that middle closed. So here I am, like right here. Do you see I went across that? And now I'm going to tie this again. See how that tied off a little bit more? I'm going to come through and give it another tie, just like we do with shoelace. So y'all can see how that went. And so that went back that way. So I'm going to grab some going the other way. So this one's kind of sticking up. So I'll just grab a couple of pleats there and a couple here. So that should do the trick. Now you can do this with kids. I mean, I've done it with plenty of kids. Even I've actually had one this past year that came to our class, and she was even younger than 9. All right, so there we are. So when I go to put my stick in these sticks, here's some other little lovelies in there. Keep everything for your crafter. But these lovely sticks are out of my yard, and I usually just get a, kind of cut a variety of them to see what I want to use. But they kind of just want to sit on top and fall. So I take my needle, and this is a small pumpkin, so I don't need the longer needle. And I kind of adjust around here, and then I find my center at the bottom. This is very free form, so don't worry about it. Then I go back in about 1/4 inch, and I go back up to here. And what I'm trying to do is make a dimple for your cute little stick to stick in. So something like a little cradle for it. So did you see how that went in a little bit? So now that's in a little bit, and I'm going to tie that off. Guys, we're almost finished with this thing. It's that quick. So we've got our little dimple. It does make a little dimple at the bottom too. And that's kind of cute, isn't it? So I do a couple more little ties on it, and then I just cut it off. And while we're doing this, and nippers are one of the sewers and crafters' best inventions for them. Okay, I'm moving that aside, and then I just make a decision about. Got my arrow glue gun. I've had it heating up. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pick one of these that looks appropriate. That one's cute. And look at this. You can just pick out the cutest stuff out of your yard. So I put a wee bit of glue there. And I'm gonna hold him in there for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he should be there. Is he cute or what? So that's what we have so far. And of course, we can't stop there, So as soon as this stuff comes down at the Dollar Tree, when they have these leaves available. I buy a bunch of them because I mix and match, and you know, have some from last year, and it's a little crazy, but I love to mix and match them. So here we have this, and they also have raffia, which you might want to go ahead and grab that too, because we're going to be using that for Christmas and everything else. So you can get that at the Dollar Tree as well. Sure, to the Goodwill, go to the Dollar Tree. I've got a couple cents invested in this. That kind of, if you have just a wee bit more glue right here, and sometimes if it oozes out, that's a little bit, that's where I actually put my leaf, and then I don't have to worry about putting any more glue on it. So the raffia is kind of wild and has its own mind. So just kind of don't worry about it. It's another one of those. This is really, really kind of long for this little one, but we're just gonna go for it, and there's always the scissors, and I can cut them off. So here we go, we're almost there. Ooh, he is wild, isn't he? Maybe a little bit of a haircut would be nice. I think I might even shorten it a little bit. All right, well, that's the beauty of it. You can make it anything you want. So I did some that were teal for the teal pumpkin project. If y'all don't know what that is, I'll tell you a little. I'll put the link in the description, and you can see about that. And that is, you put out a teal pumpkin to let kids know, or parents know, that you have non-food treats, non-allergy treats, goodies for kids who are trick-or-treating. So that's nice, and I was hoping to do that whole teal pumpkin project right here in my neighborhood, so our whole community would get aware that, you know, it's nice for kids to be able to participate in everything, even if you have food allergies. Sorry. So here's my bigger one, and here's this little sister, and here's my black and white one, and y'all know what the other ones look like. I showed them to you. So here, now I'm just going to add it to my collection. Of course, I'm going to decorate them cuter than that, but so there they are. Ready or not, right? We've got a whole mess of them. So this is a large, this is a medium, and this is a small. So, and the 3 size patterns, I'll put the link for it below, so it'll be super easy for y'all to find. All right, well, that was quick and easy. Thanks y'all for hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. I just wanted to show you how cute this little toad is. We have this on the site too, about how to make it. She's made out of scrap wood. Use paints I already had, and it makes a super cute little place to decorate, and also I've used it to put jars in and carry it out for a picnic. So it's great for Thanksgiving, Christmas, any holiday, any time of year. And then my little fall sign and all kinds of little signs are also leftover wood from projects, and so just anything. So keep yourself a little crafting pile, and I'll show you how to use it up. All right, so you can find all the links in the description below, and I appreciate y'all coming out and sharing this evening with me. Thank you, and happy fall.